New Year, Ramon. Happy New Year, Team Steen. Even though I got busted by my nephew when I saw him yesterday. I mean, he's only, 8 years old, but I was like, hey, Happy New Year. He's like, it's not New Year once it's past 12:01. I was like, okay, fine. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. A
Yeah.
technicality.
I was like, so what happens the rest of the day? It's just, I guess just back to regular living, right? He's like, you're late. I was like, okay, sorry.
Well,
Kids are funny that
apparently,
way.
one of the major news networks missed the ball drop. Maybe they were watching the college football playoff. They wanted to celebrate
That's
with a
right.
field goal. On the East Coast, they didn't know the field
What
goal's
to do.
going up, the ball's about to drop. Football fans, what were they watching right at that moment?
Right.
Mindy, the college football playoff is the feature of the weekend, certainly. And man, those were just thrilling games. If you don't like offense, these games weren't for you. But
Everyone likes offense, right? It's
pretty
the games that when
exciting.
they're defensive battles, people are like, "Oh, this game stinks," that sort of thing.
Well, maybe you did stay awake then for Iowa, Kentucky, but nonetheless, the college football playoff was the main news of the weekend, and it was exciting. I mean, come on, who didn't love it? Uh, just
Both of those
great,
games were almost
great.
like identical. It was crazy. Each of the underdogs went out to like almost a 20-point lead, only for the favorites to stomp on back. And just so happened TCU was able to pull it off. Well, Ohio State wasn't, but both of those underdogs got the wins.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, the thing was with Georgia, they had the guts, if you will. Bennett, that anytime you left time on the clock in the game like that, I guess you're going to have a chance. So, but Mindy, looking at next week, TCU is a 2-touchdown underdog. More disrespect. I mean,
Right.
I get it. I mean, you got the SEC. You want to, chalk it up again. TCU, I guess they got lucky, like they have all year, right? Welcome everybody to the morning. So go ahead, Mindy. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean 14's a lot, Ramon. I mean that's crazy to me. Like you said, it's more disrespect. I think.
We'll see. We're not going to make any picks on that game today because we still got a week to maybe get a feel for. But I mean, the line's already out, 13 and a half total, rising to 62 and a half, if you will. Well, it opened up, some opened it a little higher, some opened it lower. So I don't know, maybe it's already settled in at around 62 and a half. But boy, the money seems to be coming in the over. Anybody who watched those two games this week, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it just be another outrageous game? So, welcome to everybody into the chat. Want to welcome, I believe, Joe Blow for the place about to blow. Joe Blow. Well, that'd be a bad idea right now to take. If you want to go opposite Mindy, I'll show you in just a moment how Mindy crushed it yesterday to start the new year. Mindy, great job. Latifa is here. Welcome all into the chat room as we get ready for a pretty exciting day. It's January 2nd, but it's New Year's Day, kind of, right? So
Right.
Happy New Year to your nephew.
Our first show of the new year.
Your little nephew, right? You said?
What's that?
Was that your little nephew, you said?
Yeah, my nephew.
Happy New Year. Who is it? What's his name?
Derek.
Derek, Happy New Year. Mindy, make sure you show this to Derek. I want to wish him a Happy New Year on January 2nd, of all things. So the only reason we say it that way, though, I mean, hey, we got to get off the air and I like to watch the Rose Parade. I've attended the Rose Bowl before. I've seen I saw a great Rose Bowl. Maybe dating a little bit back, but I went to Ohio State versus Arizona State. Joe Germain, Jake Plummer, a couple of pass interference calls down the stretch, an exciting Rose Bowl.
So what year was that? 95, 96?
It was pretty wild back. Yeah, I don't
because Jake Plummer single-handedly took down the Huskers from their national rankings, of course. I'm sure no one really cares except for us Husker fans.
1997.
There you go, about that time. That's right.
Yeah. So But again, today exciting because we got all the ball games. A little bit awkward. We had the semifinals, and then we've got to come back to the
Yeah.
bowls on January 2nd. But hey, the Rose Parade's on January 2nd. Happy New Year, everybody, as we roll into the new year. Mad Bull's here with us. Here comes Blake. We want to get all your guys' comments here on the show today. So Arnez is here. Thank you, Arnez. It wasn't. Hey, one thing we'll talk about these. We've covered all the balls. Mindy, I think we were supposed to save some for today, but I kind of jumped the gun. I was so excited with all the bowl games. So Scotch is here as well. We missed you, Scotch. I think maybe you missed a couple days with us. Panger Life, we haven't seen him in a couple, at least not in the chat for a few, but good to see him as well. So Mindy, we'll talk about some of the NFL last night and the scenarios as well. Latifa says TCU. Yeah, they got it done. Duggan was pretty spectacular, certainly. Be interesting to see how it goes down. So, huge NBA card today. Right, we've got NBA. Let's not forget, we talk about the 4 bowl games, but we do have an awesome Monday Night Football game as well. Man, the Bills and the Bengals, there's a little bit to play for there. Not as interesting as some of the scenarios to get in, Mindy. But all right, talked about the national championship a little bit, 13.5, 62.5. But yesterday in the NFL as well, you had a pretty strong day. We'll take a look at those records in just a moment, but maybe get a feel for what you thought of the card. We got in the AFC probably 2 spots left. Of course, we know the Jacksonville, Tennessee game will be large. And from there, New England would have to go on the road and beat Buffalo. Pittsburgh looks like they've got an interesting situation. They're playing Cleveland. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers get in there? We saw what happened in last night's game. Just a great job. Kenny Pickett, he's a rookie, Mindy. And to go on the road against the Ravens, hats off to this guy,
pretty
right?
impressive, right?
We've been hot and cold on him, but never, remember some of these rookies, even the ones that haven't fared, sometimes they get rushed into it a little bit, but when you come up with a performance like that, a drive like that, with the season on the line, man, big, not only for their playoff chances, but for the future, maybe with Pickett.
Yeah, look at that running game too, Ramon. That was pretty awesome. But it's one of those I think Pittsburgh has to shore up their defense a little bit. They did miss quite a few tackles. Look at how many plays that they should have had. Basically, plays for losses with those running backs, and just let Dobbins kind of sneak through there a little bit. And that's a thing when you have someone, like Chubb and Hunt. You really need to make sure you get those guys the first time around. Don't let them try to get to the secondary on you. So that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit with Pittsburgh, is a little bit of that leaky, defensive line. But, it could have just been, how it was playing out. There was, they could have been a little bit of fatigue since there were so many, rushing plays made, in that game as well. But I like Kenny Pickett. I like what he's doing. This team looks like they're playing with a little bit of confidence when it was the other side there for the Ravens.
Najee Harris was crushing it as well. Miami's with their shot, but all of a sudden they've fallen apart. And now if they're down to a 3rd-string quarterback, even against the Jets, their situation looks to be slimming rapidly as we go into last week. You have Jacksonville, New England, Miami, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. Mindy, do you think it's Jacksonville and Pittsburgh?
I do. That's kind of the way I see it. I don't think Jacksonville's going to let down, at all. And they look really tough, if you ask me.
Yeah, they're nearly touchdown favorites against Tennessee, which has faded a little bit in their situation as well from their great start. So, the way that Jacksonville went in and totally dominant. Yeah, okay, they were playing Houston. We get that, but again, it's
But still, you got to play those
Jacksonville.
games. Yeah, I
They,
mean,
right, they beat. They were up by 4 touchdowns with offense, with defense, just dominating there. In the NFC, Mindy, we're down
this
to
is going to be a
Seattle,
fun
Detroit,
one.
and Green Bay. But Seattle's got the Rams. They should, but Green Bay controls their destiny.
Right,
They're playing the Lions, so no lock for certain, right?
right.
Even with Detroit in the situation that they're in, in this important game, the Packers are about a 4.5 point favorite. They took some money. They opened 3.5, now 4.5. That's the big game. Seattle still with a chance, and they're considerable favorites against the Rams, but Green Bay holds the cards.
Yeah, exactly. Because they have the tiebreaker, right? They're going to have the better, conference record is how it's going to be. It's one of those things that, I do think Green Bay has the edge overall in this one. I think they're playing a little bit better, or lesser competition. With the Lions, it's still the Lions, no matter how many points they've been scoring. Green Bay should have beat them earlier on in the season by a whole lot with those, weird interceptions and stuff by Rodgers that he doesn't do in the red zone very often. I think it should be a home game too, as well, right? And then also, Seattle, they've kind of blown it. They should have beat the Raiders. Instead, that game went to overtime. I mean, there's so many close games that they should have won throughout. And the thing is the Rams, and it's like the Rams always play Seattle hard, no matter what the scenario is. So I don't know. Even if Seattle wins, they have to hope that Green Bay loses, and I just don't really, see it happening.
We don't know where we'll be sitting on Sunday because the NFL treats the schedule like the Watergate tapes. We do know that on Saturday, your Chiefs, with their, I don't know what you want to call it, mental mistakes right now, whatever's going on with them. Maybe they're just too complacent. Hopefully they can find, the rhythm again, if you will.
I know, because I thought they were going to go out and just crush Denver, and they just didn't. It's the same old Kansas City Chiefs from week to week. So, what can you do?
Too many mistakes for a team that's expected to, do things. But,
Right.
Again, they'll be in there. They'll be in the playoffs and whatnot. So we won't make too much fun. We won't make too much light of their plight. But week after week, they seem to want to let the other team just stay in the game, whoever they're playing. So I don't know. We'll don't have to dwell on it too much with them. There are other games I want to ask you about. But
Okay.
Tom, of course, a huge performance. I had Carolina and lost with a premium. I'm not saying they got out to a great start, and it looked like it was going to be another flub by the Bucks, but Tom found a way. Now, should be noted, I mean, Carolina went and pulled Josh Norman out of his barista and put him in the secondary, so Tom was able to light up the Panthers a little bit there. So
yeah, I'm so mad about it, right? Because I tell you, my fantasy quarterbacks are Geno and Tom Brady, and of course Tom Brady. I've only played him like twice this year, and every time I have, he's been terrible. So yesterday he put up a 71 on my bench. Not happy about it.
Is that your play? That was your playoff, or?
Well, we play rotisserie, right?
Okay.
Meaning, so whoever has the most points at the end of the year wins, and then we play for a small pot every week. So you still have a chance, like even if you're not going to be in the money for first, second, or third, every week you have a chance to make a little bit of coin there. So yeah, that way it keeps it interesting for everyone that's not in it also. But yeah, Geno did okay for me, but. I missed out probably getting first place. I'm sitting at third for the week, so we'll see.
Just one note I want to make. I don't know if Ron Rivera is watching, but you've been eliminated from the postseason, Ron, after yesterday's results. How can someone – was he – I know everybody's making fun of his comments. Was he saying it – is there any possibility he was saying that in jest to the reporter, or was it too honest? He didn't know that he was – could be eliminated from the playoffs.
I don't know. I mean, I would take him at his word, but I guess I don't know if he was just
I'm
trying to play it off or
yeah,
not. I'll
I
have to
don't know.
rewatch and see.
I'm trying to help the guy out. He looked lost up
Look kind of
there.
dumb, yeah.
Yeah, certainly there. Mindy, Jalen Hurts. Sirianni said he would play him if he is cleared. There's probably 90% chance that he is 90% strength. So I would think that Jalen Hurts will play in the finale. The Saints did a great job. Hats off to the Saints. They were playing
Right.
for their playoff lives. They're out now, but they did a pretty good job. I don't think any problem with the Saints moving forward. I don't know if we expected a lot from them, but great defensive performance there. One of my few premium wins in that one. New England controlling their destiny, but again, playing Buffalo, and we talked about that. The Giants, Mindy, clinch.
Wow.
Great job by
That's
the
fun.
Giants. And maybe, look at their spread record. To me, when you have a great spread record, like I said, sometimes I want to say, those are the ones who should be coach of the year, right? Because the public perceived you to not expect to win these games. They
We
finished.
did. Yeah.
They're finishing with one of the best spread records in the league. Everyone seems to be talking about this coach now, Dable, as a leading candidate for coach of the year.
Sure. I mean, why not? I kind of feel like, he had the little bit of lull, but in order to get a team back in action, getting ready to go, moving towards the playoffs, winning the games you need to win. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, that's why I think, yeah, I mean, I think he has a good shot at coach of the year. I mean, why not?
Late afternoon, Mindy, the Niners and the Raiders.
What a fun game.
Too many points, obviously. We talked about it on the show probably. Stidham, great job by Stidham.
Can you believe those catches that number 17 made? Those were
Man.
unreal. The guy is crazy.
Yeah.
I know that the Raiders kind of have him locked up, but I wonder what's gonna happen, with Adams as well. Once now Carter is probably gonna be gone.
Yeah, and the thing is, Stidham. Look, the Raiders.
I felt like Stidham was wearing like a number 4 jersey just to, spite Derek Carr in that one.
Will they? The Raiders talk about bringing, one of those 2 elite quarterbacks in, Mindy, one of those old men, if you will,
Yep.
and we'll see what happens. I'd like to think that, with all due respect to Philly, Dallas, Giants, maybe it could be a playoff battle with Tom and Rodgers in there. But Stidham, the one statistic they pointed out that, when Stidham threw the touchdown pass from out of the pocket, it was the first touchdown pass for the Raiders thrown all year from out of the pocket. So that doesn't just, hint a little bit at maybe some of the problems that Carr was having, but it shouts out to me that is a problem because, Carr stayed in the pocket a long time. He was often wrapped up and sacked a little bit. Maybe not enough was put into that. That just floored me when I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think of Derek Carr as being pretty mobile, so it does kind of surprise me as well. So it's going to be interesting. I thought it was kind of funny too when you watch some of the fantasy, football shows and such. They're like, basically anymore, in order to get any sort of, points in fantasy, in order for teams to win games, I know we've kind of talked about it here as well, but you need to have a guy that can run and pass all at the same time. The league may be just kind of moving to that a little bit. Someone like, Brady probably won't be around too much longer.
Want to welcome Legion Steak. First time we've seen you in our chat room, and
Looks like
appreciate.
He's loves the fighting or is a fighter. It's awesome.
Yeah, looks like a UFC fan there, but for the first time seeing Legion Steak, hopefully you've been with us before. Mindy, Brock Purdy cannot win the Rookie of the Year because he hasn't played enough games, but he probably is the best looking out of all these guys. He did it again, and make no mistake, moving forward, Brock Purdy is the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, no matter what happens with Jimmy G's injury.
Yeah, I think so too. Because that's the thing. I don't think they were really invested in Jimmy G that much, anyway.
Brought him off his private practice field. So
yeah,
you're
exactly.
right.
So I like Purdy. I think he's going to be great, and why not? Especially when you get Debo back, get those weapons, stay healthy. Maybe Kittle can stay healthy all the time. Maybe Bosa too. So
Mad Bull said he thinks the Giants could upset Captain Kirk's Vikings, and would it be an upset? Would be my thing. We saw the Vikings totally lay another egg, and all their
feast or famine. Kirk Cousins, 5 touchdowns or 5 ints. What are you going to have?
Well, and again, all the metric sites say that the Vikings are not as good as their record, right? What are they? They're like 25th in DVOA, if anybody likes that category. So,
Right.
it would be, would it even be an upset there, right? So, great seeing everyone there in the chat. We'll get rolling. I got to talk about my Chargers a little bit, Mindy. They're getting Joey Bosa back. They really dominated the Rams. I ended up with a push on the total. I thought the Rams could at least put up a little bit more at a premium there on the total going over. I just thought, the Chargers would give up a little bit, but maybe they could make some noise because they have an elite quarterback.
Yeah, right. I thought, I think it was the day for the running backs in that game. Eckler looked really good. And like I said, it's finally right? I feel like they've finally got their pace with, Akers as well. That's what I think that they've been missing the most. Besides, Cooper Kupp and such, they've really been missing a running game. And I think they finally, found their way with that. It's just that it's going to be, a little too late right now. I think the Chargers have been good all season. I know you kind of tend to be down on them a little bit, your team there, just because, you know how it's been disappointing a lot with them. But I like the Chargers team. I think out of anyone, they're the ones that always give, the Chiefs the problems. It's not going to be this Raiders or Broncos team for a long time.
And they secured their spot early, so they will have a little bit of cushion there. So, all right, let's head on over by special request from our man Blow. Let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com and see how things went yesterday on the first day of the year. And take a look here with Mindy Hahn on top of the leader, 10-2 yesterday, Mindy.
Maybe, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I had a pretty nice day. I believe I won all of my football plays, I want to say.
Swept the board?
Yeah, and then won my one NBA, and where I had a loss was in college basketball, went 2 out of 3, and then lost with the Islanders. The Kraken beat them. Out of everything to go wrong, it was that one.
Yeah, I went with the Islanders in that one as well. So Kraken came back. Maybe there aren't, after that last game, I was like, maybe the Kraken's broken. So Robbie yesterday, 11-5-1. Sam, big day, 6-1. Tiffany, 8-3 as well. Mindy?
Yeah, we're kind of clicking on all cylinders here as of late. So, feeling pretty good about it. Morning's team, we did okay. We had a really nice couple days on the days that, of course, we are not on the show, right? So we
went 9-2 together. Hope everybody remembered the show. I appreciate some people. Joe Blow, we appreciate him here. He kind of gave us the business a little bit, but yeah, I think the chat came to the aid quickly. They remember the show on Saturday. We went 9-2 on our consensus premiums on Saturday. So, hey, hello to Rick. Welcome in. Nice to have him as always. Tool King Home is here as well. So, Mad Bull said he was on the Islanders. Mindy on fire yesterday. We'll get her opinions on all these games we're going to preview in just a moment.
Monday and I get some more Starbucks. Thanks, Ron. Booyah.
Yeah, Ron said he's been just a little bit of technicality.
A little behind. That's all right. That's all right. I can do it.
Okay, no problem there. And Scotch, good point. Giannis was out. Okay, here's the thing, guys. I want you to, if you can, pay attention to these injury reports a little bit. They ruled Giannis questionable kind of early, right? And when you see that news come out early, the line was like 4 at the time, and he wasn't ruled out. But when it comes out early and says questionable, more often than not, it's not going to be good news. So you can kind of get on that in the line. Once he was officially ruled out, it went down to 2.5. Now, didn't need those points. We get it. But it kind of clues you in a little bit. Doesn't always work that way. But when you're talking about these guys who kind of take those days off, the LeBrons and the Kawhis and all that, uh, really the writing's on the wall a little bit when you get those early injury reports. By the way, I got some news for you right now.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Well, it's not steam, but
Oh,
because actually it's steam the other way. There's been a lot of steam already on these totals in the NBA. I'll talk about them as we get to the NBA. But Jimmy Butler has been upgraded to probable for tonight's game against the Clippers. So we will talk about that game and all the games, but that one just came across the wire a little bit. So, all right. Glad to see everyone here, and I'll just touch real briefly here on the weekly board as well, because Pravi is up nearly 3 dimes. He's 33 games over 500. So make sure you click on our premium pick section and take a look at our premium picks. I'm up there as well. Mindy's up there over the last 7 days, and Tiffany as well, up a nickel. Last 30 days, probably up 2 dimes. Mindy up nearly 2 dimes. And the handy, I don't know how this works out. Yesterday was the first of the year, but Mindy, you went 10-2 on the first of the year, but for the year you're 18-13. So
right.
I don't know how that's working.
It seems to have a New Year's Eve record in there, is my guess.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up. I wasn't quite sure. I know the board resets and it doesn't make any.
So I think it reset. It held over one day and then started again. So I'm sure Tony will get it all fixed up and looking good for us soon.
Take a look at our premium pick section, Mindy. You got NCAA basketball package, a 3-pack. I've got a 5-pack of bowls.
Whoa, look out.
Well, there's only 4 games. So what does that mean, Mindy?
You got a side and total?
No, actually, I've already got my pick in the
national
championship game. Yes, next
Gotcha.
Monday night. So pick up my 5-pack in the bowls there. So, and don't forget all of our other features over at Tony'sPicks.com, including the best bets over there, the $15 plays as well. Many times those are combined. Mindy, you got your best bet $15 play will be on the ice.
That's right. Been seeing the card pretty well in the NHL. Only a small card today, so just have one play out of the 3 games tonight.
Take a look here along the right side. You see Mindy plus 832 units over last month over in the NHL. Ben's got his best bet up there as well. Nick's got plays in soccer today in NHL. There's, of course, don't forget to check out our soccer coverage over there. There's a game today in the Premier League. Liverpool and Brentford going to be going off at 12:30 Eastern and 9:30 Pacific. And also there's a League One in France also going on today as well. But head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Don't forget about all the bowl games. We're just a couple hours away from 3 nice games going off. And then the Rose Bowl. And Mindy, knowing how long these college football games take, the Rose Bowl will probably overlap with Monday Night Football.
Well, they said that they've already pushed back the start for Monday Night Football.
They did, huh?
Yes, they did. So it looks like it's not very much. Like they were saying, like 8:30 Eastern, something like that.
Okay, yeah, and it's usually 20 minutes after the hour that Monday Night Football starts. So they were kind of anticipating that, especially since, that's all on the same network. So they got to be ready for that. And so let's go ahead and get started. I know everyone's tired of me talking about all of our success on the site and all that. But
sounds like everyone had a pretty good weekend. So that's good.
Yeah, and if not, I mean, it's the new year. You can just
start a new streak.
You can just start anew. No matter whether you win or lost last year, just wipe the slate clean, start all over here, just as we did. And Mindy's off to a red hot start, 10-2. I'll just quit the show and subscribe to Mindy's picks if you did that every day, and maybe she will. So let's get rolling and see what she has to say on all these picks. I've already talked for a half an hour, and everybody wants to get rolling.
That's
All
right.
right, Mindy, it's a great game tonight. There's some things that are on the line a little bit for these teams. There's also, things will continue to unfold next week as well. So, not to say that it's not a non-important game, but the Bills are going to be a short favorite here by a point. I am actually seeing one Las Vegas book has moved the Bills to 2. Do they not know that the Bengals have covered like 1 million out of the last 1,000,003 games?
Maybe they don't, and maybe they haven't noticed that the Bills just, I don't know, just don't quite look quite right. I don't know exactly what it is. Can't really put my, finger on it here. But kind of the way it sounds is that the Bills might be headed towards a little bit more of a run game here this evening, and that's just, based off of stats, flex plays, a whole bunch of, different stuff in there with that. And Blake, I think I'm going to be against you today. I'm going to take the under in this one. I'm going to go under the 49.5 because I do think both of these teams are going to try to establish this run. I have it, basically modeled out a 43-45 game, 21-21, like basically as close as you can go ahead and get it here. Under is 7-1. The Bills' last 8 road games. Under 7-0, and the Bengals' last 7 versus a team with a winning record here as well. And to me, it's only because the Bills, I kind of question a little bit. I don't know if it's Josh Allen's arm maybe isn't as good as we all think it is. Because look how many times they're going to run him now on like 3rd and 4 rather than passing. So I'm going to take under in this one, Ramon.
Looks like Curtis is going to agree with you. And, I'll just start off the new year. We don't do this very often. I'm going to go the other way. And again, not contradicting your handicap of the game. And maybe it looks I might be in the wrong here the way you guys are coming in, but I look at it as both teams relaxing a little bit, maybe not having that defensive intensity. We're looking forward to the playoffs. Look, I know we got 49.5. It's prime time. I mean, I'm the king of this, right? As far as coming in and preaching about these prime time unders, we know it. And Blake says it's going to come right about the number here, possibly there. Rick says at a pick'em, Bills all day. So don't forget about Joe. I mean, he's covered every game here. I didn't write the stats down, but you know what they are. I mean, it's 18 out of the last 20, 18 out of 21, something like that. I think it's even more than that. Here come all the predictions. Panger Life says 31. I think it's a great game here. Rick says he's in Cincinnati, so interesting that he would say that like that, because we know what what's been going on. He knows what's been going on with the Bengals and their great streak. So I will put a lot of stock into what he is saying on that tonight. Scott says he thinks home field is a big deal. Mindy, I was kidding about some of the playoff, and I don't, you can take a pass if you want because of your Chiefs, but we see these teams again in the postseason.
Yes, of course. I think you will.
We're getting familiar with each other. Scott says playoff atmosphere. And that's the way I'm feeling about it. I'm going to go with the over in this game. Even at 7 touchdowns in the game, I'm going to take the over. And again, I don't disagree necessarily with what you're saying on the handicap. I just think that the teams are kind of maybe coasting into the postseason. I don't know if that intensity will necessarily be there. But yeah, I mean, when they're right next to each other in the 2 and 3 spots, we know the Chiefs making fun of them. As long as they keep winning those games, they're going to get that number 1 spot.
Right. So it just depends where they get to go play. Do they get to play 2 games at home or 3 games at home? Right. That's what.
And the spread record doesn't matter, right? Nobody's going to say, hey, you don't get the number one seed because you didn't cover the spread too much.
Right.
It says 7 touchdowns too many. I just am rounding it up a little bit. I mean, obviously you could be looking at, 6 touchdowns and field goals, 5 touchdowns and more field goals, but they will need some stops. Just a few stops, I would guess, to stay under the total, but I will go over. Or if you wanted to be like that Arizona and Atlanta game, you can have 1 billion field goals. That was the underrated game of the day. Come on, that was the worst game on the card, and it went down the wire yesterday. So, okay, great picks from the chat. I'll give you just another second if anybody wants to chime in. But Mindy and I, we're going to disagree. I'm going to go disagreeing with everybody here. You guys are all on the under, and I don't have a handicap on this one necessarily because I almost agree with everything Mindy said, but I think it'll be the general malaise, if you will, of the defense is just
the mood of the defense.
Maybe a little Matador defense, a little bit. I mean, it's an important game, no doubt about it. But the Bills, they probably needed a little. The Bengals can take advantage of this home field in this game, right? And get just a little bit closer to trying to pass them up in the standings heading into that last week of the season. Of course, we did mention, Buffalo looks like they'll have a pretty easy matchup in the final week, given the way the Jets, kind of floundered yesterday in that one, and the fact that the Bills will be at home against the Pats. I'm sorry, the Bills will be at home against the Pats for the final game, of course. So, all right. The other comments from the group? Doesn't look like it.
It'll be a fun one. I'm excited. Can it start right now?
Yeah, we got a bunch of bowl games to go through. Hey, don't forget.
Oh, there we go, Travis. Here comes Travis. Watch this. There we go. 16-17.
Oh, wow. That would be looks like Travis wants to go to the alternate universe and
take some points
a little bit. Yeah, Rick says Bengals O-line having some problems. No doubt about it. They've had some injury concerns. So, yep, but we got bowl game. All of our bowl previews are already up, so we're not previewing any bowl games here today. They're on the Tony's YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just type in the game, Morning Steam. Boom, there we are. Find us quick.
So we're going to go right to the NBA with a New Year's Day card. There's been a lot of movement on a lot of these games, and you're going to see it almost in real time. All the spreads that I've entered in are about, a little more than 2, maybe 2.5 hours old. So when it first comes up on the screen, that'll be the spread from about 2 or 2.5 hours ago. And you're going to see how wild this movement has been on some of these games, including mostly the totals. And let's get started. The first one here with the Suns and the Knicks. This should be this is the only matinee of the holiday today. And in this one, the Knicks are up to a 1.5-point favorite, and this total is plummeted to 219.
225 to 219. Goodness. But yeah, Scotch is ready for this basketball season. Here we go to kick it off. I mean, Suns 8-1 against the spread versus these Knicks over the last 9. Suns, they've been out shooting from the floor by about 2%, 5 from 3. I'm gonna go Suns to start this one off. Plus 1.5.
All right, Mindy will take the Suns here, plus 1.5 today against the Knicks. And I want to agree with you here, Mindy, but this total has totally just fallen through the roof. And I really liked it under, especially at that big number. But, man, has it gone too far now for me to get involved? Let's see what the chat has. New York covers here. In that one, and Butterscotch says he wants the Knicks in this one at home in the matinee. So Mindy is going to be on the Suns, and I am going to be on this under still. I wish it hadn't dropped so far. Obviously, That's easy to say, right, man? It's gone
right, but that's a lot.
Hasn't gone too far here in this one. Oh man, I kind of want. I'm not. Don't lock me in yet. I'm gonna
All right.
contemplate this because I do like the Suns in this game, and I'm going to agree with Mindy. I'm going to agree with Mindy.
Uh-oh, we're changing it up. We're changing it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I can't do. I'm going to analyze the total still because I really like. Man, I really love the under back at you said 225, and I got up. It was 224, and as I sat here and prepped for the show, I saw it dropping every
And dropping and
and
dropping.
dropping again. So 219. Let me look at it right this second. See, is it still two? Has there been any possibility of some buyback? No, in fact, it's 218.5 now in a lot of books. Oh man, they're really expecting a low here. I'll go with Mindy. Let's take a premium and take the Suns today plus 1.5 in this one. You know, the key there obviously has been the discussion with Devin Booker. He's still out, but Jalen Brunson also questionable for this game. RJ Barrett, we know he's out with that injured finger. So, but Landry Shamet is back into the lineup for the Suns. We know he's been a pretty good sub in there. So, and Tool King, I think, says about time, maybe time to switch to the over here. So Scott says with Brunson out, it does concern him, and he is questionable still. So we don't really know exactly, but Tool King says go over. I think Latifah says she's going to be on the Suns. And Quigley had only 6 points when they last met. All great stats from Tool King. Awesome job right there. All right, we're on the Suns.
All right.
In this one, we'll take those points despite the slight move.
And fun afternoon games. Yay. There's lots of stuff to watch today. I'm excited. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, it is. It is, especially with the football. Okay, Mindy, the Lakers are going to go in to take on the Hornets. And the Lakers, they were about 1 point favorite or so, and the total was at 241. But the steam has come in on the Lakers and the over. Right now, I'm showing the Lakers are 1, and the total is still on the move higher at about 242.5.
Yeah, the Hornets here, they're 25th in scoring and 28th in points allowed here this season. Lakers, I think, are finally kind of maybe hitting a little bit of stride here. 7-1 against the spread. The last 8 year head to head against the Hornets. Lakers putting up 116. LeBron had 47 on his birthday.
Oh, yes.
He's ready to go. I think I'm going to take the Lakers here, minus the 1.
Okay, then you'll be on the Lake Show here. I had concerns because they're on this long road trip, right? And LeBron, obviously, he must be totally distraught after Ohio State blew the game. So I was wondering now if maybe, LeBron, he probably had a lot of tacos yesterday watching the game and, upset about Ohio State's loss. And if anything, LeBron, he played those back-to-back games on the road. So I was kind of thinking this might be a day for LeBron to take the day off as the last game of the road trip here. But he did say in his post-game interview after that awesome performance on his birthday, he said, he was going to get ready for the Buckeyes game and then get ready for Charlotte. So it sounded like he had already made plans to play. No indication that he would not. He's listed on the injury report as probable here. Scotch does say, though, check it out before. And if he's out, he will be taking the under. Tool King says he's hammering the under in this one. I don't know. Charlotte plays absolutely no defense, man. No defense. They should, Charlotte, no defense. So I'm going to end up taking the Charlotte Hornets. I'm going to take the Hornets here against the Lakers. In this one, I'm going to go against you again. Wow, 2 or 3 games I'm going against you. I think the Lakers might, LeBron might be upset about the Buckeyes losing that game. I'm sure he was, that was he was ready for that game. No doubt about it. He loves the Buckeyes. Where will Bronny James play his 1 year of basketball? All right. Raptors and Pacers. Here, the Raptors and Pacers. Pacers are -1.5. This total has gone up to 232.
Oh goodness, 232 from 227. Oh my
Could you
goodness.
believe these? I
Yeah,
told you.
yeah, this has gone up just an absolute ton,
They
ton
all
here.
have. I've got more for you.
All right. Well, the Raptors, they are 8-2 against the spread in the last 10 here. I think I'm going to go with the Raptors today. They're also 6-2 in their last 8 road games here. I'm going to try the Raptors today. I'll take them. It was +2.5 earlier, so I think a little bit of the money has been maybe going on the Raptors. I'll take them.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it looks like the Raptors are taking the action from the public, and I'm not so sure. It looks like a flat spot for me, maybe, Mindy. So I can't agree with you on the side, but I can't necessarily give out the over as a premium. So I'm going to end up uh, taking the over in this one as a free pick. Everybody on the show here probably was worthy of a premium card. Matt Bowl says after he got done smoking his bowl, he said back a few comments ago he was lighting one up in the morning, and then he'll take the Raptors in this one. But I'm going to be on the over. I do like the over quite a bit. I've already missed 5 points, Mindy said, so just have to give it out on the show as a free pick. I'm afraid. So I don't mind, but I'm just to let everybody know how we operate, right? I mean, if we're not really getting the total best of the value, I'm giving it out on the show. I like the over, not getting the
Right.
best of the price by far. So I'm with Scotch here. Pacers have shown a lot of life. Yeah, going against Mindy scares them off that 10-2 day, and it hasn't just been one day. Mindy's been hot. All right.
Goodness.
Pelicans and Sixers here, and right now the Sixers are down to a 5-point favorite, and this total has a dropper, Mindy, to 229.
229. See, that one's not quite as bad from the 230.5 there. So I'm gonna go with the Pelicans. Hopefully, I can get some folks, behind me eventually. Here, we'll see today. Pelicans 3-1 against the spread versus 76ers 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings here as well. Gosh, ranked second in scoring. Hope they could keep that up. Let's do it. Go Pelicans today.
Well, Mindy wants some support from the chat. Can she get any? I don't
Maybe.
know. I'm going to go against Mindy Hahn here, everybody.
That's
we never had
it's a rough
three
start to the new year here.
We've never had 3 disagreements in 5 games. I'm going to take the Sixers here, -5 against Mindy, against my better judgment. She's coming off the hot day. So,
Funny.
I do probably lean to that steam, though, going on. Look, we really have 2 pretty solid defensive teams. You can't ignore the fact that the Pelicans, if anything that has really helped them so far this season, as far as their great success this year, this is a great game. Make no doubt, make no mistake. These are 2 very good teams. And it's for the Pelicans, we think of Zion, Ingram when he's healthy and how exciting they can be, but they really, out of these young teams, they're the best defensive team, I think, of the young up-and-coming teams. And that's really helped them to a lot of their success so far. All right, let's find at least the Suns on a. Hey, the Bulls and the Cavs here. The Cavs are a 4-point favorite. This total has gone up to 222. This total got steamed over a little bit, but not as big of a move as some of those others.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's still coming in against me. Maybe I had too much holiday cheer, Ramon. Who knows? We'll see. Cavs here, they have the 11th highest adjusted offensive rating and the lowest adjusted defensive rating here. Beat the Bulls twice this season. I'm going to take the Cavaliers here today. I'll take a -4.
Well, you're being awfully cavalier, Mindy, going against all your fans in the chat.
Here they come. Don't fade my Bulls. They cover.
Scotch, he is our resident Bulls expert. here. They've actually shown some life when it comes to getting numbers, no doubt about it. So good to see Kevin here.
They're like my Toyota and my Disney. I mean, come on.
Kevin here in the chat today.
I mean, who doesn't love graphic tees? I mean, come on. And who's not a DuckTales fan? I mean, come on. What's going on?
For me, Mindy, I'm going to take the over in this one. Don't mind a little bit. Look, yeah, I know the Cavs are excellent defensively. Thurman's coming in on the Bulls here. The Steam's actually coming in on the over in a Cavs game at home. I'm going to respect the Steam here. I'm going to take the over in the Bulls versus the Cavs. Next up, Spurs and the Nets in this one, and the Nets are a huge favorite here. Maybe the Spurs have taken money. Spurs have actually shown a little life as well. We showed you that total at 234, but it's up to 236 now.
Okay, so I'll try again. Here we go. Ready? Going with the Spurs. They've averaged at least 122 points in the last two here. It's well above their average of about 112 here for the season. They are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 on 1 day's rest here as well. It's a big number. I think the Spurs can hang in there today.
I'll try the Spurs with you, Mindy, for sure. They're showing some penchant for covering numbers. This is going to be a wild game, obviously. That does worry me a little bit because sometimes those big scoring games can get out of control, but sometimes it can actually be to their advantage as well. So the Nets in a spot like this where, they know they're big favorites here. So could they just look right past the Spurs and end up in a tighter contest that, could help the Spurs possibly get the money. That's the way I see it in this one, Mindy. Spurs, yeah. They've been a little bit better of late. I'll take them with you. Plus 12 points here today against the Nets. And, yep.
Hey,
Scott,
hooray!
Nuggets and the Timberwolves here. The Nuggets are down to a 2-point favorite. And this total, the Steam came in on the under, but not too much movement here right now. It's still at 233.
Nuggets 7-3 against the spread, and Minnesota 4-6 at home. Timberwolves here, losers of what, 6 in a row now. I'm gonna take the Nuggets here. They just have the healthier roster. I'll take them. Nuggets -2.
All right. Well, hey, Mad Bull's here looking for locks. He might be looking for Nuggets too. You know what I'm saying, Mad Bull? Hey, here's Scotch. He likes the over in this one. And I'm not so sure. I'm going to end up on the under in this game. I hate to go against Scotch here, but my play is going to be on the under here with the Nuggets and the Wolves. Jokic has been pretty awesome here, but man, it's kind of a low number considering how these teams have been trending right now. And especially you mentioned the Wolves struggles, Mindy, but it's only 2, and the Nuggets have been playing pretty well. Of course, they have been playing at home of late where Nikola's had all those awesome games. So still got to see some improvement from the Nuggets on the road, or even laying it 2. So I'm going to go under in this one. Mindy's on the Nuggets. Mavericks and Rockets. The Mavericks are 7.5. This total got steamed under, but right now it's 227.5. It went down to 226.5. So it's kind of been in the range there, 228.5, 226.5, and is settled at 227.5.
Okay. Mavs here 5-5 against the spread the last 10. Rockets 3-6-1, and it's a last 10. Against the spread. Dallas won the last one here, 129-114. Oh man, I don't know if this defense is good enough here. I'm gonna take the Mavs. They're 5-2 in their last 7 there as well against the spread. I'll take them.
All right, Mindy will lay the points. Yep, Mindy will lay those points here with the Mavericks on the road. So for me, I'm going to look this one to go under the number here. I'm going to just chase this Steam a little bit. Like I said, I don't even know if it's a chase necessarily at this point because of the fact that it really hasn't moved that much. So Scotch comes in agreeing with you. Mindy says take Dallas in this one, laying some points on the road here to the Rockets. So maybe the dogs will be barking, but Mindy says take this favorite tonight with Dallas.
I mean, there's a train they can hear. That's about it. But the train comes by all the time.
I
So
didn't hear any trains.
who
That's
knows
the
what they're
steam
doing?
train, right?
Exactly.
Pistons and Blazers. The Blazers here are favored by 9.5. This total did get steamed up, but just to 232.5. But it was widely reported steam.
Well, the Pistons have won 2 of the last, 3 games. Trailblazers here dealing with injuries, illnesses. Trailblazers 5-0 in the last 5 home games. And the Pistons are 0-4 in the last 4 head-to-head. They really don't play well in Portland. I think I'm going to go with the Trailblazers in this one. Even though Portland last time didn't cover the spread, they only won by 4. But I'm going to take the Trailblazers here today.
All right, Mindy's on the Blazers here. Lay the points against the Pistons at 9.5. Pretty big number, but Scotch is with you. Don't trust the Pistons right now. One of the weaker teams certainly in the league right now. So I'm going to be on the over in this one. I kind of like the move here, and I will take the over in this one with Detroit and Portland today up in the at Portland. So I'll just chase the steam a little bit here. Looks like I still don't have to worry too much about missing out on much value here, considering the numbers only gone up just a tad. We know that Detroit pretty weak defensively. They've been a steady over this season. Meanwhile, Portland also has gone under. Here's Rapper Capper finally making it in. Good to see him here today. Hope he's doing well. And let's get some picks from Rapper Capper today. Mindy, hey, just want to mention some NFL steam rolling in right now. This one already caught my eye a little bit. And it's under in Cleveland and Pittsburgh, under 40. Could these teams really get to 40 next week, considering the circumstances right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns? We know Cleveland's done, but Pittsburgh has it's a big game for them. So I would think that
they still hate each other no matter what.
I mean, just look what happened with the Ravens. And look, we know the Ravens probably a little better defensively than Cleveland, but are they really? The way some of the games have played out. So under 40 just got steamed in that NFL game. It's heading to 39.5 or lower. So Rapper Capper looks like Pistons and the over here in this one. All right, the Hawks and the Warriors here. The Warriors are favored down to 1.5, total up to 236.5.
Yeah, Hawks here 6-11 on the road. Warriors, we know they play well at home, 13-4-1. Golden State last one, here on the road, 110-121. Last time out. The Hawks here 4-1 in the last 5 against Golden State. But they are, I don't know. I just think Golden State here, there's probably, just too good at home. Even though, like I said, the Hawks are 4-1 the last 5. Rolling average has this one for me. Warriors 118-111. I'll take the Warriors here today.
Yeah, Mindy, the steam came in on the Hawks in the over. It does say Warriors at home, at Warriors, right? At Warriors.
Right.
At Warriors, right? I'm not taking the Warriors. Come on. At home, the lines moved the other way. What are all the Warriors players other than Curry out as well? Are they all taking the night off? Weissman out, Wiggins out, JaMychal Green out. I don't care. I want the Warriors. DeAndre Hunter still questionable. Capella's out for the Hawks. I'm going to take the Warriors in this one for sure. Look at what Rapper Capper said. Have they even won? Have the Warriors even won? Have the Hawks even won on the road this year? Right? I mean, they've covered a few numbers, but come on, they really. I want to say the Hawks have kind of underachieved, really, maybe from what we expected. So they've won 6 games on the road, but the Warriors are 16-2 at home.
Right.
Good point, Rapper Capper. All right. Okay, the Heat and the Clippers in this one. You have the Clippers here favored. Hey, it's gone down probably on that news that Butler is going to play because that was fresh news. Clippers are -3 here. The totals dropped to 219.5.
Yeah, I mean, Miami has won, the last two here, the last two matchups, but are 1-7 against the spread versus the Clippers. They're 5-1 the last 6 Monday games as well. Clippers like to play on Mondays. I'll take the Clippers.
Well, tell me why I don't like Mondays. Hey, I'll take the Clippers with you, Mindy. I think it's a pretty good price here at -3. We want to know about the Clippers personnel situation always. I think that's always a concern. But right now, no Kawhi on the injury report. We did mention Jimmy Butler upgraded to probable, but Miami still has a bunch of question marks from some of the rest of their personnel too. They've got a lot of problems throughout the rest of the lineup, mostly with their bench players, but they are playing pretty thin overall, I would think, with a lot of question marks on their side. And also, these are two of the lowest scoring teams in the league.
Right.
I would think right now, Clippers will do it. Curtis says over, though. Just want to mention that. Butterscotch says
It's been pretty
I
hot.
like the Clippers. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the two lowest. I think there's one. Maybe I'm kind of going off of the adjusted net ratings, but still, two of the lowest 3 scoring teams in the league, right? I would think here. So Roscoe also Clippers should win. Good to see Roscoe in the chat today as well. Mindy and I are on the Clippers. That gives us a 3-pack of consensus plays today.
Four. Don't forget
Four
your plays
plays.
on the Suns.
Yep, they're all sides. Suns, Spurs, Warriors, Clippers. Got it. All sides.
Yeah. That's unlike us.
So
that means we know where those plays are going. Yeah, premium selections at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout when you get those.
The Mad Bull says he likes the over as well. So maybe I'm living up a tree here with talking about these two teams being extremely low scoring compared to the rest of the league. I mean, they'd be the highest scoring teams if they were the only team scoring what they score, and it was 90. Who was talking about the 96 Bulls? Yeah. Back when the Pistons and the Bulls would play those playoff games, and the final score would be 92 to 91. Yeah. Rick's ready to party. No, it's a holiday, no doubt about it. Today's a holiday. The Rose Parade is gonna start here in a few minutes, and all the bowl games are being played right now. Right, it's a holiday today, so. Yep, it's a new year. Just, hey, if you had a bad year, if you had a good year, it doesn't matter. Just wipe it away, wipe the slate clean, start all over again.
Try again.
All right, good job with the NBA, Mindy. Let's get into college basketball. There's a college basketball card. Let's not make it. It's not a great card unless you like the small. And
the Ivy Leagues.
I love some of those.
I found some Ivy League plays I like today.
Yeah, we're all over the place in some of these. The extra board. Yeah. The extra board's live today, no doubt about it. I gave out a couple of plays already on some videos. Check one of them out. Check out our handicapper leaderboard video I make every day on the YouTube channel. Me and Scotch have a running debate on there about how unit size should be treated. But nonetheless, that's all in good fun. And also right on the Tony's website with our sponsor. I also have a play up already on the added board. So a couple more videos you can check out over there. So, all right, Mindy, just a couple of games we're going to look at today on this card. Basically, we're going to stick to the good matchups today because
TV
everybody's gonna be watching the
TV
bowls.
Yep.
I know we'll be betting some of those college basketball games, and probably those are the games I'll probably make my premium card because I just like to win. But how about Rutgers and Purdue here? Uh, don't for Purdue's. Is this right? I mean,
It's
they're
right.
8.5 and 131.
Yeah, Rutgers 7-3 against the spread in the last 10. Purdue 3-6-1 against the spread in their last 10. Last year Purdue won 84-72, so by 12. Rutgers, has played some pretty tough competition here so far. They beat Indiana, then they had the controversial, shot there with Ohio State. Purdue is undefeated at home, but I'll take Rutgers and the points today. They play tough. I mean, they average about 10 steals a game. So they're pretty wild there on defense. And Purdue, they're also 0-4-1 in the last 5 at home against the spread. I'll take Rutgers.
I'll go on with you, Mindy. It's against my better judgment. I mean, to me, sometimes Rutgers, and maybe I'm just thinking of old Rutgers. And look, Purdue, I mean, they're still one of the top teams in the country right now. So it's like, man, does this line look cheap? But looking at the way the market is treating this game a little bit, I mean, I think there's respect in the market for Rutgers. You mentioned it, maybe Purdue overrated if you look at those spread records, right? I mean, and maybe Rutgers is even underrated if you look at some of the spread records. So Scotch is kind of seeing it the way I am, but I'm going to respect what the market makers are doing here. I mean, it's Rutgers that has the great spread record, right? It's Purdue that has the garbage spread record. They're laying almost double digits here. If I were to go out there and watch the warm-ups, I would be like, this team in gold and black is going to win by 20 points.
Right.
But for some reason, Purdue is just not getting the money. They're 2-7 against the spread at home, 2-9 against the spread as a favorite. You mentioned Rutgers, 7-3 to the number, including 2-1 as a dog. I'll go with Rutgers with you, Mindy. You're the hot capper right now. I'll go against the eye test. There was a widely reported steam that did come in this game on the Boilers.
Yeah, because it went from like 7.5 to 8. So
yeah. In fact, I didn't update it there. It's 8.5, but there are some 8s out there. I'll just leave it because it's juiced. The 8.5s are kind of juiced to Rutgers there. So the total open as low as 125.5 at some places, mostly open 129, 130, not much movement. But a couple of books did open as low as 125.5, and that one was did shoot up. So, that one, I don't know what we can put into that one anymore in that one, Scotch. So I'm on Rutgers with Mindy here. Not saying I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you.
But kind
of. You're not changing my mind.
Some reservations.
I was already considering. When I looked at the matchups before I started looking at the market, I'm like, oh, Purdue, right? But then I look at the market, look at the spread records a little bit. Purdue doesn't cover any spreads. So, all right, the other good game. These are nicely timed, I would think. If you like the basketball, it'll come right in at 4:00 where the Rose Bowl's winding. It gives you something else to watch in between the football a little bit on the other screens. West Virginia, Oklahoma State's -3, total is 139.
Yeah, when West Virginia 1-2 on the road so far. Okay, State 4-2 at home. Both teams gave up double-digit leads in their last game out. West Virginia had a really poor performance from the free throw line. They were like 20 for 38 when they normally, hit close to 90%. OK State, they have that height, right? 7'1" in the middle. They also have a nice defense, but they tend to struggle shooting some. I don't know how this one's gonna play out for me here, but the road team is 10-4 head to head. So you got a little bit to the road team, but then you have Oklahoma State. They're 4-0 at home this season against the spread. So I think I'm going to kind of stay away from this side. I'm going to take a look at the total. I'm going to take the over in this one. West Virginia is 24-4 in the last 28 road games. I mean, all the trends are to the over there. I just have to hope, Oklahoma State here can be on the better side of their shooting performance here today. So I'll take the over 139.
Yeah, and if you look at it, they're completely opposites when it comes to the totals this year. Oklahoma State is 1-5 to the under at home so far this season, but West Virginia is 10-3 to the over this season overall, and 4-0 to the over on the road. So how is it going to play out? To me, looks a little cheap considering that type of trend, especially if Oklahoma State just a 3-point favorite. It looks a little bit cheap to me. I do see Curtis says, well, we do have a little bit of discrepancies, actually. Curtis says Oklahoma State covers, but Scott says he likes West Virginia. So let me just side with Mindy. Give us two plays. We're going to preview 2 games. We got 2 premiums. I like the over in this one, Mindy. We also took Rutgers. We got 2 plays today. In college basketball, going on the Team Steam card. Don't forget, we were 9-2 in our last card on Saturday. Well, we did have the NFL card, but I mean, that wasn't great yesterday. What'd you say?
Well,
three
you're
and
just
four?
one game under,
Yeah, no, okay.
I blame Kansas City, so that's pretty much my fault.
I get to 12-6 over the weekend for Team Steam, so take that every time. We could retire on that.
Exactly.
Okay, we got hockey next, and hopefully Latifah's here. Hopefully she's going to watch this one along with the
big
game.
3-game card for today.
Yeah, well, the first one, it's time for the Outdoor Classic. This one will be played at Fenway Park. Fenway Park.
Are we getting snow again on this one? That's always my favorite when it's snowing.
Now, the weather looked pretty darn good yesterday, I would say, and should be a nice day for some outdoor hockey with the Penguins and the Bruins at Fenway Park. And the Bruins are going to be favored here. It's a great series, right? Great that these teams are playing so awesome, too, right now for this game. That makes it, I think, even a little neater. And the spread's right on there, 175, 6/15.
Curtis is going heavy on those Bruins today.
Fine. Wow.
I'm going to go ahead, though, and I'm going to go under. It is 5-2 in the last 7. In 9-3 in the last 12 meetings between these 2 teams to the under as well. I think I'm going to go under 6. Should be a good one.
Yeah, and it's always a concern. Ice conditions, you really don't know. I guess a real handicapper would, wait and see what the analysts start to say about the ice conditions. There's always some situations there. It's an
Someone's
ice
out with the garden hose. Yep.
Yeah, a rink that's created just a few days, a week in advance, really. So there you go. It's tough to control. I'll agree with you on this one, Mindy. I will take the under at 6 in this one. I think also it's an exciting game, an important game that maybe not only these teams know it's an important game for their 2 teams because they're both so good, but yeah, even though there's several outdoor games now every year, it's still a little bit special, and maybe there'll be a little bit more intensity as well. So I'll take the under with you here. Yeah, no doubt, important game between 2 very good teams this season, no doubt about it. I mean, we know these teams, Boston still with the incredible record, 28-4, and still on a little bit of an undefeated roll again. Yeah, they had a few overtimes, but this one, I don't know if we could treat it at home. I don't know if we consider it. Yes, it's in Boston. I guess it's treated as a home game. They're 18-0 at home, but I think this does rate a little bit differently. Penguins right now 19-11, but I will note that they've been underdogs only 5 times this year and won just 1 time as an underdog. So pretty stiff underdog. I'll take the under with Mindy. Under 6, Pittsburgh and the Bruins in the Outdoor Classic for 2023.
4 afternoon games, right?
Yeah, another a good afternoon game, and always neat to watch the outdoor game every year.
Definitely need lots of
The
TVs
best one,
today.
the best outdoor. I don't know, Mindy. The best outdoor game was probably. And it sucked. Actually, I'm talking about for the aesthetically, but I think that it sucked. They tried to play, and I think they're going to try it again. But they played the game out on the lake in I think
Oh,
it was in
Minnesota.
Utah,
Oh,
but
okay.
the ice got screwed up. But I mean, they were playing with the snow and the mountains in the background, and if anybody remembers that one, God, I want to think that was almost pre-pandemic. Does anybody remember that? I thought they were going to try it again, or maybe they did, and it worked out the second time. I should have researched that a little bit. Okay, the Golden Knights and the Avalanche. This is a good one. We're moving to the night games now, and I don't know, pretty big game. Avalanche.
Would you say a night game? Is that what it is? A night game? All right, I'll take the Golden Knights. They won their last game, 5-4 against the Predators. Avalanche losers of 3 in a row now. Ranked 5th in goals. Road teams 4-0 in the last 4 here between these two head to head. I'll take the Knights.
All right, Mindy, you'll be on the Golden Knights in this one, plus $1.45 or so. It looks like I'm sure the line has gone up a little bit here, maybe $1.60, maybe $1.65. And the total definitely has shifted. I better update that because now it is 6 under 15 as we're seeing a pretty stiff move to the under here. Here comes Curtis. He likes the Knights. It looks like plus a goal and a half.
185-ish or something, yeah.
Scott says, yeah, 185, 190. Scott says he can't believe the price on the Golden Knights. He thinks that looks like some value to him. So I don't know. I was kind of leaning Colorado here. I won't necessarily go against you here in this one, but I will take. Man, was really hoping for a 6.5.
Well, it was right, and just
Yeah.
lost one.
Yeah, because I wanted to take the under there at 6.5, and I'll take the abs. I'm going to go against you guys. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm laying the price, and I agree with Scotch to a certain extent, but Avalanche obviously. I think they're starting to at least get something going, get back on track here a little bit, but I don't think there's any value in my play, so it'll be a free play. But man, Vegas really solid on the road, but Avalanche still, pretty good. 2 good teams. So Mad Bull coming in on the under. That's probably the way I should actually go. I was already considering it at when it was 6.5. It wasn't 6.5 very long. What was that price? 6.5 under 15. A lot of places even opened up at 6, so there wasn't many 6.5s out there. My model had mostly 6.5, and I was willing to go under, so maybe I need an adjustment there. All right. Last game of the show.
Here we go.
The Flyers are a road favorite. They're down to $1.15. The total 6 over 15.
And I'm gonna go over. Flyers are scoring 4.5 goals a game over the last 3. Ducks easily give up 6 goals over their last game versus the Predators. Over as 4-0 in the Flyers' last 4 versus a team with a losing record, and 5-1 against the Flyers. To the over in the last 6 overall. Give me the over here.
All right, Mindy's going to be on the over here with the Flyers and the Ducks. Who do you think? I don't want to, I don't know if you got a premium or anything. I don't want to, if you don't, I was wondering who you might, because I'm going to take the Flyers here, believe it or not. Curtis is on the Ducks, but Scotch is on Philly. I'm worried about the Ducks right now. I mean, I'm taking the Flyers because I just have some problems with the Ducks at this point a little bit. I don't like the Flyers here, but I think the spot suits them well. You don't have to tell me who you like. Mindy, you're on the over in this one. I'll take the Flyers here. If Latifa says Flyers for sure. Okay. I got it. For sure. Good. I'm on the Flyers as well. All right, everybody. Great job. Great show. Enjoy the games today. Wow, it's going to be just, I think, it's a holiday, so these are, we got good games. It's not a
Right.
heavy, and it's
Eat
not a
some
heavy
leftovers,
card.
hang out, watch some ball. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yep. Scott says, "What about the Philly puck line stats?" Let me see. I
I did
have
not
that.
write it down,
No, I
so
can
I
cover
don't
it for
know.
you. No, I can cover it for you a little bit in this one before we get off the air here.
I
Uh,
mean, I tend to lean to the Flyers at minus, 1.5 at the plus 207.
yeah.
So, um, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what their stats look like, is what I'm saying on
Right.
that.
Well, here's the thing: the Flyers are 15-5 against the puck line on the road, but a big but, they've only been the puck line favorite 3 times all year. They're 1-2, so they don't lay the 1.5 very often to take that plus 220. It's negligible, I would think. Whatever you think about it, Anaheim, they're uh, always getting the plus, right? Pretty much in 37 games this year, 35 of them they've been the puck line dog. They're 15-20, including 2-8 in the last 10. So that's a huge that stands out for me as far as not getting anything done right now. That's why I'm on Philly at a reasonable money line price here. So again, I think one thing that I often do when I do look at these is looking at the puck line, like Scotch was saying, look at those puck line trends, and you see if Anaheim, who is always getting plus 1.5, right, always getting one, and they've only covered the 1.5 2 out of the last 10 games. They're not even covering the puck line. How are they going to win this game against even a mediocre team like the Flyers? I say mediocre; they're way under 500 as well, 13-17. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, Latifa, for telling everyone to smash and like and all that. We love you guys too. Don't forget, head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com. We gave you plenty of free picks here. Certainly, we have no problem if you just want to roll with us today. But we do have our premium picks over at tonyspicks.com. These are our best picks. We don't give them out here. Sometimes that's why I'm hemming and hawing a little bit, because I know I can't give out what I already have noted down as what's going to be a premium. And I don't want to go against Red Hot Mindy Hahn. So click on the All Cappers tab. There you'll find all of our handicappers over at Tony's Picks. You can go down the list. You can click on a capper like a Mindy Hahn, who already is up plus 1,680 units over the last 30 days. Who wouldn't like to take that home a little bit? And you may be wagering more than that. Those are based on 100 to win 100, as I like to say, right?
Right.
A lot of people say, and this is what Mad Capper and I have been getting into it about, how everyone says, but look at how that looks, right? We know yesterday you were plus 793 if you're looking to wager 100. If you want to say, oh, Mindy's up 7.93 units. And he says the whole world treats units as one individual basis. Well, one problem with that is that one person's pittance is another person's fortune. A 1 unit play for one person might be $500. On 1 unit play for another person might be $20. So here, if we just say to win 100, it's an easy way to keep track and to keep score. You, of course, can look at it as far as look at Mindy right there. 8-1 yesterday in the NFL, plus 691 units. Very easily and explainable. Also, look at our college football. Look at all those records and all those wins yesterday, Mindy. I'm just showing everyone how our site works a little bit. We'll get out of here, but there's all of Mindy's plays for today. You can buy them individually or in the packages, and look at these wins. Kings, Grizzlies under. I was with you there on
Right.
that one, Mindy. She had the Sharks yesterday. We both had the Isles. She went over in Vikings Packers. I went under. Follow Mindy. Winners with Sienna and Fairfield. She had Sienna. She had Cornell. She had over the Dolphins Patriots. She had over.
That one came down to the wire.
A lot of overs yesterday. Colts and Giants, Panthers and Bucks. Just a great day, Mindy. Congratulations on the great start to the new year. Cardinals +7. They didn't, they came down to the wire. Atlanta got the win, and just a great. She went over in the Giants game. Giants never go over, but Mindy didn't care. She was like the honey badger. She went over. She didn't care. All right, everybody, don't forget, check out Who's Hot. Get all our records over there on the site. All right, Mindy, thanks a lot. Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy a great day. Thanks for all the awesome comments.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I want that NFL game to start right now.
Yeah. Well, what about these bowls?
Okay,
That's
fine.
a long way to wait, Mindy.
Okay, fine. I'll suffer.
That's 9 hours.
I know. I'm super excited for that one. I can't wait.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of good games on this morning, so I can't complain about my lineup for today. Just really excited about that one.
Hey, I'm not going to give out a premium here and tell you about one of my plays, but I just want to talk about, I'll just hint at maybe one of my plays here today on my premium card. I've got a 5-pack up right now in college football, but just go look at, I know it might be a odd comparison. It might not even make sense to some people because it was last season, but in one of the bowl games, just take a look at the teams how one of the bowl games went last time. I want to say one of the teams went to this same bowl game and they played a score that was interesting, and then the other team that is playing in that same bowl, the last time they played in that bowl game, the score was very, very interesting. That's all I'm going to say. That might make you have to do some research, but that's one of my premium plays today. All right, everybody, thanks a lot.
You better just tell me. That's like way too much work for me to put into something. Come on.
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay, good. See,
it's a premium play, but and it's not based on that, but it kind of made me, when I was looking up, my research on the game, I was like, oh yeah, don't forget about how this game kind of plays out. So,
like, all right, I got to look back in the annals of history there, Ramon.
Yeah, that was kind of vague, but looks like Scotch might already be onto it. All right, for Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Happy New Year.
Bye.